Hey everybody, this is the Stuff I Heard podcast, and I'm your host Josh Peak. This is episode 112. Hey everybody, today happens to be June the 8th. This is episode 112 of the Stuff I Heard podcast. So today's Saturday, and I'm recording this kind of late. It's 8:47 p.m. Not that anybody listening gives a crap, but anyway. I normally try to get this done like Friday after work or on Saturday morning when my wife's out at the gym, but I had a lot of stuff lined up for today, and a lot of stuff that was really unscheduled. Sort of circumstances have happened around our house lately where we've had to make some changes. I can't really go into detail just yet. I'm sort of waiting on the green light for that, but basically we needed to get rid of some things that were taking up a lot of clutter space, and we needed some money. And we needed to also get our hands on a second vehicle. During this process, it's been a little bit difficult. We had a lot of stuff laying around that was like we'd been talking about getting rid of, and we just hadn't. And I came home, I guess Friday, with a fire in my belly, and I told my wife, I said, listen, I really think we should sell this stuff. I mean, part of it, you guys have heard me talk about, was the treadmill and the elliptical machine that was in that back bedroom that I wanted to turn into a podcast studio. Now, if you're watching the YouTube video right now, you can see that I'm not in there yet. I am still in the bedroom office area with this stupid little picture of a bird behind me. And you see that picture of the bird? There's a bird behind me. Dumb bird. Had nothing to do with the purchase of the dumb bird picture. I got a couple pictures of the Marine Corps stuff over here, memorabilia. But I'm still in that room, okay? I do have my Boba Fett bobblehead and my Boba Fett antenna topper over here. Shout out to Alex and Michelle for the bobblehead. But you can't see that because I don't have it set up yet. I don't have my studio yet. I don't have my room. I say studio loosely. It's a loose term. We'll call it a spare bedroom once it gets to that. But I may say something like, welcome to the studio, because I'll be full of myself by then, because I'll have a whole room for my giant head and ego to fit into. But anyway, I've been saying that we wanted to sell that stuff to make room. So I guess Thursday night I put the elliptical machine online for sale and the treadmill. And Friday, while I was at work, I got people texting me saying, hey, I'd like to buy it. And I'm like, really? Okay. So it just worked out where someone lined up and they came and met me here at the house Friday after work, and they were able to pick it up, and I was able to help them get it in their truck, and all that stuff worked out great. And I thought, all right, this is really happening. And while we're in there, I told my wife, I said, listen, I already sold that thing, what else do you want to sell around here? And we looked over at this, I had like a sit-up bench that was over in the corner. It's one of those benches that's made so that you hook your feet in and then lean backwards upside down, and it sort of helps you with some cushion on your back. And I bought that thing years ago thinking, oh, I'm going to use the crap out of this, because the one thing I hate about doing sit-ups is hooking your feet in furniture or having to lay on the floor and that kind of crap. And I bought it, and I thought, yeah, here we go. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And I didn't use it. Like a lot of exercise equipment, people buy things thinking they're going to use it a lot, and they never do. And that was one of them. I think I actually got on it 10 times for the years that we had it. We must have had that thing for 10 years. I think I actually got on it like 10 times total, ever. And anyway, it was sitting there taking up space, and I snapped a picture of it, and I put it online for sale. And no sooner did I put it online for sale, and somebody I work with hit me up and said, hey, I'll take it. And I was like, really? All right, cool. What else we got around here? We had an extra TV that was still in the box that I was looking at, and I was like, we could sell this. And so I snapped a photo of it, and I ended up selling it today. I was like, right on. Yeah, we're on a roll here. And I was thinking, what else could I sell? I mean, it's one of those things where once you get into it, you're like, I could really get, we can get rid of some of this extra crap that's just laying around that we don't use. And on that subject of not using, I decided I was going to sell my drone. Now, saying that, I know a lot of people are like, no, but we like the drone videos. They were so cool. Well, listen, if you go on my YouTube page, I have a playlist, DJI Mavic Pro Drone. And you can watch 27 videos of me playing around with the drone, from me unboxing it to hooking it up and playing with it and learning how to fly it and flying it around. And I think I got video of me flying over Santee Lake a good 3 miles. I got a video of me flying into a storm off in the distance where it was dusk, but you could see all of the lightning and stuff off in the distance, and oh, it was beautiful. I took it to Dad's, flew it around in Georgia, over his place there, flew it over the lake. I took it down to my wife's family's house, flew it over their place. I took it to Mom's at the lake and flew it over their place. Took it to my brother's, flew it over his house. I flew it over all kinds of places. I flew it over my neighborhood so many times, I'm sure my neighbors were like, oh geez, there he goes again. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun to use. It was fun to see things from a different perspective. It was fun to get the footage on screen and look at it and go, ooh, isn't that pretty? Golly, that's cool. And then it sat in the closet. And it sat in the closet for a long time. I took it with us when we went up to visit Dad up in Cape Cod, and I got some great videos of flying it out over the coast and looking at our little village up on a hill in the clouds and flying it back to us, and it was gorgeous. But then it just sat. I mean, literally, it just sat for a long time and did nothing. And I got looking at it and I thought, the way technology goes, because this is what I've noticed, is something comes out and within a couple of years it's replaced by something even better for even less money. And I bought that drone right at about $1,000. And don't get me wrong, it was a lot of money for me. A lot. But I thought, you know what? This is a write-off for YouTube. I'm spending money just for YouTube. This is definitely just for YouTube. And hey, it's a tax write-off. We'll buy it, we'll use it, we'll play with it, we'll get lots of cool video. And then we did. We did all of that. We've had it for a couple years now and enjoyed every bit of it. But let's face it, it's been in my closet for so long that it just needed to be gone. It needed to go to somebody else. It needed to go to somebody who's going to appreciate it and use it. So I went online to look up what that drone sells for now, because they're still making that drone and selling that drone, and people are buying them. Right now you can get that same DJI Mavic Pro. That's the one that folds up and looks like Batman whenever it gets all cool, because it's black and gray and looks all menacing. And you can buy it right now online on their website, DJI.com or DJIdrone.com. I can't exactly know it. Anyway, go on their website. That drone is $799 right now. Okay, they've marked it down a couple $100. That's a pretty darn good deal for something of that technology. It has accident avoidance technology. It flies up to 45 miles an hour. It can go 4.3 miles away from you. It has an automatic return. I mean, you name it, it does it. It has the follow function where you can follow from the sides or in front of it or behind it. It'll have the orbit function where you can select the thing to be in the center of the screen, and it literally goes around you and films you being in the center. It is cool. It's a cool piece of technology. It's a really cool toy. Some people call it a tool. I call it a toy. It was a toy. It was a tool and a toy. It was both. Anyway, moving on past that. So I knew I needed to sell it for under $799. Now, what would you charge if you were going to sell a used drone? A couple years old, it's not exactly brand new, but it's fairly new. What would you sell it for? I posted this one for $650 online on the Facebook page. You know how Facebook has that marketplace thing? I've sold a lot of stuff on that page so far, and it works pretty good. I put it online for $650, and I had bites right away, people offering for it. I had one guy that I literally could look on his page and see that he was a professional photographer. He had some great photos. He'd been a photographer for 10 plus years. And he started a conversation. He's like, I really like that, man, Then he got to the part where he wanted to negotiate. And he offered me $325, and I told him, nope. Sorry. Well, I just thought, because blah, blah, blah. I was like, no. I'm not selling it for that low. No, forget it. Absolutely not. I was willing to go off a little bit on the price, but I mean, $650 is a reasonable price for what you're getting. I had an accessory package with the case and an extra battery. I spent extra money and bought the attachment where you can hook your iPad to it, so it's even like a bigger screen so you can see on it. I mean, no, I wasn't going to sell it for that low. And I had lots of people write me saying, I'm interested, where are you located? Hey, can I come check it out? Oh, I'd love to have that if I had the money. Oh, blah, 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 blah. A lot of blah, blah, blah. Then this one guy named Steve reached out and he was like, hey man, I like it. I want to check it out. Can I come check it out? And I was like, sure. Well, now here's one of the things. A lot of people who want to sell things, they recommend that you meet somebody in public somewhere, like Kmart or Walmart or whatever, McDonald's. Meet them in public where there's people around and, have a safe situation and that kind of stuff. And I didn't have time for any of that. I was like, no, I got a lot of equipment here. Last thing I want to do is drag all this crap out in public and mess around with it and then try to fly this thing in a crowded parking lot or something like that. I was like, no, we're doing this in my driveway. You want to see it? Come to my house. I'll meet you. Here's my address. And he came and he met me and we hooked it all up. I hooked up my iPad to it so I could show him what it looks like with I got an iPad mini. Hooked it up to it, and everything, and showed it to him, and we took off and flew, and I had to remember how to control it. I was like, oh, it's been so long, I don't remember what the controls are. And then it dawned on me, I was like, oh yeah, this is the screen, you control it with the regular controller. And I'm flying around, and I'm showing him what it does, and I'm talking about everything, all the highlights and stuff like that. And it works great. And meanwhile, a storm is coming in. I mean, dark clouds are rolling in, and wind is picking up, and I'm like, I need to land this before the rain starts coming. So I land it and bring it in and clean it off and everything and put it up and, kind of show them how to fold it and unfold it so that the wings fold like they're supposed to. And I show them where the memory card goes, and I show them where, everything hooks up and how to charge everything and everything, all that stuff. And he's like, do you have any video of like the film quality? And I was like, absolutely. Matter of fact, I even got a whole YouTube page with a playlist. And he's like, what, really? So I showed him the page and he was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I had the iPad mini right there, so I was able to use a big screen to show him. And we flipped through stuff and we showed, I showed videos of, a little bit of unboxing, and then I flash forward to flying it around my house and learning how to fly it, around the neighborhood, and then I skipped over towards going to Santee and flying it over the lake there, and he was like, yeah, I think I'll dig this. He was a guy that seemed to be moving his way up and was getting some better technology and wanted to have a more advanced drone, and he was like, I'm in, let's do it. I was like, cool. $650 right there. Like, right on, thank you, awesome, perfect timing. This is great. So it goes on to a better place. It goes on to somebody else who's going to use it, which is great. And, if technology advances, which it always does, and something cooler comes around, well, then I don't have to sell it then when it's not worth as much. And I can, possibly have the money to buy something even cooler. So, there you go. There you go. I've thought about that when it comes to cameras. Over the years, I've advanced cameras and I've changed cameras and I've moved up every step of the way. And, I'm sure you guys remember this camera. If you're watching YouTube right now, I'm showing you the camera. This is the Canon G7X Mark II. I heard Casey Neistat talk about it. I heard Bert Kreischder talk about it. This is a pretty darn good camera for just a little tiny little camera that you can put in your pocket. And it's got the fold-up screen so that you can see yourself while you're filming yourself. You can go, blah, 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 and you can see the screen flip up to you, and it flips down so that you can see, it's got all kind of neat little flippy functions for your own viewing pleasure, and the picture quality is good, the sound quality is good. I liked it. But when I bought it, it was an expensive camera. When I bought that camera, this camera was, I want to say like $799, and that was a hefty price back then for a camera. But I was like, you know what, I'm doing pretty good with this YouTube stuff, but I need to step it up. I need to quit making videos with just my crappy iPhone 4. And that camera was definitely a step up, and it worked great for a long time. But technology changes, and technology got better, and cameras got better, and I wanted to get a good camera, which is what I'm using right now. And the camera pointing at me, if you're watching YouTube, is a Canon EOS Rebel T7i. Now, that camera is about twice as much as the other one, but it also has a much better processor, much better screen, much better lens. Everything on it is better. The biggest difference is when I move closer or move away, it adjusts to see me way quicker, because everything about it is made newer and faster and better. And you know, you pay for better technology. Well, before this came out, I could have possibly sold that Canon G7X Mark II and probably got back most of what I paid for it to invest into the other camera. I didn't do that. I've still got it. Matter of fact, I still use it. You guys watch videos that I put on YouTube where I use it a good bit. This is still a really good camera. The only thing it doesn't do is it has a wonky autofocus sometimes where it wants to focus on random crap, and I'm like, come on, catch up. I'll be pointing it at something I want to see and it still wants to focus on some random doohickey off on the side. I don't quite understand that, but you know, for the technology, for what it was, this is a really good camera, and I've made a bunch of videos with it. But at some point, you're supposed to step up. You're supposed to make your game better. You're supposed to strive for better. And if you're making content for people, you make things better. You should, at least. When I started this podcast, I started it off with my phone, just talking into the little microphone. And, you know, some of it was okay. Some of it was not. But I knew that in the beginning I wanted to do what I'm doing now with a better microphone and a better soundboard and everything kind of professional-ish. I say professional-ish because, I mean, I'm not a professional. I make it look like I know what I'm doing. I don't really know what I'm doing. This is just an appearance. I mean, honestly, this is an attempt at best. I just took my picture. How about that? Hey, everybody. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is, in life, if you're striving towards technology, you have to at times make sacrifices in order to further what you want to get out of it. Does that make sense? So anyway, let's talk a little bit about Stuff I Heard, because this is the Stuff I Heard podcast. Alright? Recently, I got to listen to Bert Kreischder's podcast that came out this past Wednesday, episode 346, with Jeremiah Watkins. Now, if any of you guys have ever listened to Kill Tony, you'll know right away who Jeremiah Watkins is. He's a fascinating guy, real funny guy. This is a good podcast. They actually played around with a topic that ended up as some segments on Twitter and Instagram. And it was Bert's idea of, you know, let's take a small subject and let's expand upon it and make it silly, but make it so that it's a clip that people are like, wait, what did he say? Because on Instagram, it allows you to do like a 1-minute video. And he's like, you know, we'll make up an obscure topic and a really strange thing to talk about where people are going to listen to it and go, wait, what was that? You know, but we won't like reveal the thing. Anyway, you just got to check it out. It's a hilarious idea, and I enjoyed it. So, I think you will too. I think you will too. I listened to Perry Noble's Second Chance Church. His sermon this past Sunday was called Free. If you had one word to describe yourself, how would it be? What would it be? He put this out on social media and people replied. And some of it broke his heart. But by the end of it, basically the sermon is supposed to teach you that the one word is forgiven. It's a great podcast. It's a great sermon. I highly recommend Second Chance Church and Perry Noble. Check it out. You will not be sorry. Switching gears a little bit, I listened to Dr. Drew. I'd gotten behind a little bit and I wanted to catch up. I listened to episode 15. It came out May 23rd with Jeff Ross. Jeff Ross, a lot of you people may know from the battle roast competitions. Anytime Comedy Central has those roast things on with celebrities, he's the main guy that does it. Really interesting podcast. Dr. Drew asks some great questions. You get to learn a lot about Jeff Ross' family and his history and how he came up, and he's a neat guy. Episode 16 on May 30th is with Mike Catherwood. Apparently, this guy used to do Loveline with Dr. Drew. I didn't know that. For me personally, I always knew Loveline as being Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. But these guys apparently did it together for a while, and it was good. And I like this guy. This guy's very interesting. He talks about being addicted to meth at some point, and crack, and cocaine, and getting clean and sober. And it's a very interesting podcast. Then, my favorite one, episode, I guess this would be 17. It's not even listed as that, but it came out this Thursday with LeeAnn Kreischder. That's right, folks. Bert Kreischer's wife, LeeAnn Kreischder, host of the Wife of the Party podcast. Big fan. Big fan. Big fan. This is a great podcast. This is fun. It's informative. You get to learn a lot about Bert and LeeAnn and their relationship and how they work together, even being so different. It's fascinating. It is such a fun listen. I enjoy listening to her. I enjoy listening to him. He asks some good questions. And she's a big Dr. Drew fan. I know she's invited him to be on the podcast, and hopefully he'll take her up on that. I mean, it's good stuff. I switched over because of that. I switched over to Wife of the Party to see what's going on with her, and this past Thursday she's got episode 71 with Christina Pazynski. Now, for those of you who don't know, Christina Pazynski has a Netflix special. It's really, really funny. She's married to Tom Segura, another comedian who's best friends with Bert Kreischer. They host a podcast called Your Mom's House. It is a huge podcast. They also happen to have the studio, the Your Mom's House studio, where Dr. Drew After Dark is recorded. See the little circle of life here that happened? Community. That's the one thing I talk about the most. Community. And this episode with Christina Pazynski on Your Mom's House, I got it all mixed up, on Wife of the Party is fantastic. If you want to go on Netflix and check out her special, it is called, it's not listed. I thought it was going to be listed here. I think it's called Mother Inferior. It's very interesting. Christina Pazynski originally was on Road Rules years ago on MTV, and she met Tom Segura shortly after that. And now they're in love, and they have 2 kids, and it's really awesome. But she's hilarious. She is awesome. They are awesome together. They're moms, they're kicking butt, they're doing it all. And I'm a fan. So, go check them out. I think you'll enjoy it. There's a lot of stuff on Netflix that I want to watch, and I still don't have time because I'm catching up on House of Cards. And let me tell you, holy crap. I just finished season 5. Man. You know, if Kevin Spacey didn't get in trouble and get kicked off the show, that show would still be trucking along. Because, goodness gracious, he's a good actor. Whew. It is amazing. I just started season 6, episode 1. And I know that the House of Cards got canceled after season 6. I heard a lot of people say that the show just wasn't the same without him on it. But anyway, I'm a completionist. I'm gonna watch season 6. I'm gonna finish it out, and then there's a bunch of stuff I want to watch. Yeah. There's a movie with Hilary Swank called I Am Mother, and it's got like an android robot ex machina kind of feel to it. It's creepy looking, but it looks so awesome. I love science fiction, and I love Hilary Swank. I think she's a great actress. Let's face it, she has the face of a dog. Not to say that she's ugly. She literally has the face of a dog. There's a reason she did $1 Million Baby, because you can punch that face a lot. I'm just saying. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I'm a sensitive guy. I mean, you know. But she's not an attractive lady. Okay? I'm just going to say that. She's a great actress, though. So, you know. Listen, if you're Hillary and you're listening to this, don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sure that you're lovely. I know that you're an excellent actress. I look forward to watching you in anything because you're incredible. But you're just not my type, okay? Just saying. Anyway, she's not listening to this. Never in a million years. Anyway, so moving on. I'm taking this out of a page of Bert's playbook. Bert, every once in a while, will just say something obscure and downright rude. But he'll say it, and he'll go, they're never going to listen to this. And I always thought that was funny, because I thought, dude, if I'm downloading it, surely other people are down. Like, you're a celebrity. I'm not. See, me personally, I'm just a normal dude. Nobody's ever going to listen to this. Except you guys. And I appreciate every one of you. Cheers. With that, I got to cheers. Cheers. This evening, I got invited over to hang out with my neighbor Paul. He was having a little cookout, get together. I got up at 5:30 this morning just to cook a pork butt for this. I put it on the pellet grill, slow smoked it for 7.5 hours. I took it off, wrapped it in aluminum foil, put it in a cooler, wrapped it up with a blanket, and let it sit until 7-ish, 7 p.m. When I pulled it out and unwrapped it, it was still smoking. The bone pulled out like butter. Just, I was like, yeah, baby. I cut some of it up. I put it in a Tupperware dish, brought it over. He had a group of people over. We got to sit around and hang out and talk. And it was fun. It was fun talking to people. I enjoyed talking to people. Hey, that's why I started this, right? I'm talking to you guys. I know it's not the same thing. I would like to give a special shout out to my mom and stepdad Dan. Thank you for letting us borrow your extra vehicle. I felt like a jerk at 45 years old for asking for assistance, but I appreciate it. So thank you. Lots of changes coming, lots of things in the brew, lots of maneuvering that's going to go on, and I will talk about it at some point. I just have to wait until it's okay. So when I'm okay talking about it, then you guys will know. Alright? Y'all take care. Thanks for listening. Please remember to review, rate, subscribe, and share with your friends. I am literally making tens of dollars out of this. So eventually it'll add up to pay for all the equipment that I bought here. Thank you to my wife for allowing me to do this and continued support. And thank you to all of you out there for listening and sharing. And I appreciate every one of you. If nobody tells you this week, hear it from me first. I love you. Y'all take care. Cue the cow, baby.